This morning on DC News Now, the DMV prepares for more winter weather.
I think we deserve to come out and walk the sidewalks.
District crews gearing up for the next round of snow. And with flurries returning to the DMV, meteorologist Brittany Ward has a breakdown of the timing. Plus, the Washington Commanders on their way to the playoffs. Fans making the trip to Tampa to support the team. And remembering Jimmy Carter.
Throughout his life, he showed us what it means to be a practitioner of good works.
The former president now laid to rest in Georgia next to his wife. And an artist in New Orleans honoring the 14 victims killed in the deadly terror attack on New Year's Day through his art.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good morning, and thanks for starting your Friday with us here on DC News Now. It is 7 o'clock. I'm Tanaya Wright.
And good morning. I'm Shanika Grimshaw in for Corey James this morning. We have another round of snow, so that is going to start later on tonight. I think I was listening to your report earlier.
That's the first.
Right? So, Brittany, it's not going to be that bad, though.
I've been listening. Thank you, Tanaya. At least someone
she doesn't listen
has
to me
been
either.
listening. But yes, since you said it, yes, we will be expecting a few flurries tonight. The good news is it's not going to be as bad as Monday. Shanika, that's what you forgot to say. Temperatures stepping out the door right now are below freezing at this hour. So make sure to bundle up. We're sitting at 25 degrees in the nation's capital. You're at 6 degrees there in Culpeper. You're sitting at 15 degrees right now in Hagerstown. But you factor in those wind chill values. This is what it feels like on your skin. It feels like 16 degrees in the nation's capital. It feels like 18 degrees there in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It feels like 4 in Martinsburg, West Virginia. So keep it here. I'll let you know the timing of the snow, how much snow we are expecting coming up in my full hit, guys.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Well, Crews in D.C. making sure their plowing trucks are ready for round 2 of the snow, which Brittany said heading our way.
Yeah, you just heard it from Brittany. If you were listening, it won't be as much snow as we saw earlier this week, but D.C. Department of Public Works, they started preparing over 48 hours ago. We have our D.C. News Now's Tosin Fakile live outside at DPW for the Fleet Shop. So how is it looking out there?
Well, you guys, I want to say I really appreciate DPW for allowing us to come inside, one, so I don't have to be outside dealing with the cold, but we're now inside their fleet shop. This is where they fix all those plow trucks. This is one of those plow trucks you see. They've been working on it. You know, I was talking to DPW earlier this week, and they tell me they always have at least 200 trucks out on the roads treating the roads. They've been preparing for that storm that came in on Monday since Saturday. So you know these trucks have been out for a while. So now they're making sure they're ready to go again for round 2. With me is Bill Griffiths. Bill, we talked to you at the 6 o'clock hour. Let's first talk about the work you do for the city, because you guys don't just only handle the plow trucks.
No, that's correct. So we maintain over 3,800 assets for all the city. Fleet management administration responsible for the maintenance, the fuel, and the procurement of all the vehicles in the city. Here, this is our largest shop. This is where we maintain all of our heavy equipment, construction equipment, sweepers. We also maintain the Packers. We're supporting Department of Transportation, all those agencies so they can get their mission accomplished. We're kind of the behind-the-scenes crew.
You're a very important crew. Let's do a little walk and talk on this truck here. We see someone getting some work done. Tell us kind of what is happening here, or how this trucks like these are maintained.
So you mentioned it. So we have over 200 pieces of equipment that we use to make sure that those roads are opened up after a storm. That process actually starts really earlier in the summer, around August, when we're prepping all this. Right after we get through a storm, all that equipment comes back through the shop again, and we do that circle of safety check. We're making sure that all of the functions work, the fluid distribution, the salt system. We're checking wipers, lights, fluids, all the things to make sure that the driver is safe. This particular truck came in, it actually had an electrical issue. They're troubleshooting that, and they'll get that fixed up, and it'll be put back in service by tomorrow. One of the great things that we're excited about is during this last storm, we actually maintained a 99% fleet availability. What that means, at any given time during the storm, only 1% of our fleet was down at any given time. We're really proud of that.
That's so impressive. So, like, coming ahead, obviously we're expecting snow later on this evening. Are your trucks ready to go? I'm pretty sure is what everybody wants to know.
We are ready. One of the things that we've done proactively, and I think the citizens of the district can really appreciate this, is the last few years, a lot of these new vehicles are really advanced, right? So we have actually onboard devices that monitor the health of that. So what does that mean to you? That means like we're monitoring kind of like engine temperature, how that vehicle operates, and our technicians have access to that information, and we can catch a problem before it becomes a larger problem, and we can call that truck back in, get it repaired, and put it back out on the road.
Love to see it. Thank you for talking to us, Bill. And we're not done with Bill. We'll be back talking to him in the 8 o'clock hour, guys. It's really cool to see all the behind the scenes things that happen to these plow trucks to make sure they function as they should on the road. For now, we're live in the district. We'll talk to you at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tosin. It is really cool seeing how everything happens behind the scenes there. All right, well, if you are looking for a warm place to go, Montgomery County has opened up warming centers. Officials say they're going to be keeping all rec centers, senior centers, and libraries open through today.
Encourage folks to, if you're having a problem staying warm, if you're not able to heat your own home adequately, to feel free to use those facilities.
You can get the latest information on county services by calling 311.
All right, happening now. Take a look at this new video here. That's showing wildfires continuing to take over Los Angeles last night. Now, this home security camera captured the moment that fire overtook the home. Now, the fires have killed 10 people and caused more than 130,000 residents to evacuate. The Los Angeles County Sheriff says first responders, they are continuing to push through those elements.
I'm going out through my staff. Hey, give me some stories where our deputies are just constantly putting their life on the line. And in every example I'm given is as a result of somebody who chose not to evacuate. I don't want to tell those stories anymore. I don't want to give stories of our first responders being injured.
Meantime, schools in the Los Angeles School District will be closed today.
And meantime, the fire causing so much destruction that the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences now extending the deadline for Oscar nomination voting. You are looking at the flames spreading in the Hollywood Hills. That voting was set to end this coming Sunday, but now extended by 2 days till the 14th. The nomination announcement being pushed by 2 days as well till January 19th. And our DC News Now and our parent company Nexstar are teaming up with the American Red Cross to help victims of the wildfire. So if you would like to donate, make sure you visit our website, dcnewsnow.com, and search Help California Wildfires. You can also scan that QR code right there on your screen. All right, 7:07 now on a Friday. DC police say they've arrested a 17-year-old boy in connection to a shooting that happened in an alley. Police say a 15-year-old was shot near Eastern Senior High School in Northeast. The teen was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The 17-year-old was arrested in Prince George's County on Wednesday.
All right, turning now to Northern Virginia. Officials are looking into what led up to a deadly crash into an icy pond in Chantilly. The crash happened yesterday morning. Police say it all started at the Wingate Hotel when the car went over a curb into an icy parking lot, then down a snow-covered hill. The car went straight into the pond. The fire department's dive team pulled the two men from the car, and officers say both men unfortunately drowned.
Oh, my goodness, no, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, that's tragic.
It's important to be careful and drive slow. Even, after the storm, there's just so much ice still left around.
Police say the driver, Kanakata, and passenger, Nishal Bada, died in the crash. Right now, it's unclear if the two men were staying or working at the hotel. And 7:08, Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares is celebrating a victory for his efforts to keep children away from THC products. A judge upheld a decision that would have barred Virginia from regulating hemp products with high THC levels. He says the products are often identical to popular candies and are dangerous for kids. Miyares also issued a statement saying, in part, the decision is a huge win for common sense and Virginia's families. And developing now, frustration is growing in Richmond, Virginia, as the city and surrounding counties continue to deal with issues with water.
Yeah, Richmond Mayor Danny Avula says that people should see water return today if they have not already yet. But a boil water advisory does remain in place in Richmond and surrounding counties. And there are now new fears from officials as another winter storm makes its way to central Virginia. Yesterday, the mayor detailed the necessary steps the city is taking so something like this does not happen again.
We've had continued commitment from our regional partners to have additional staff, mechanics, technicians, electricians, engineering functions on standby. And then, as I said, increasing the frequency of our site inspections across all of those different operational components.
Other steps for improved safety include testing battery backups, generators, and increased staffing. And bottled water there is really hard to get in Richmond right now. The situation's so dire, one couple says they started melting snow to wash their hands. For others, no water resulted in no heat at apartment complexes. One person said temperatures in his unit dropped as low as 53 degrees.
All right, 7:10. The body of late former President Jimmy Carter has now been laid to rest in Plains, Georgia. Yesterday was a national day of mourning to honor Carter.
Yeah, national correspondent Basil John has more on yesterday's ceremony.
President Jimmy Carter is now back home in Plains, Georgia, buried next to his wife, Rosalind. For the last time, President Jimmy Carter left Washington, D.C. after his funeral service at the Washington National Cathedral.
Throughout his life, he showed us what it means to be a practitioner of good works.
President Joe Biden delivered the eulogy. All living presidents were in attendance, seated together.
Through it all, he showed us how character and faith start with ourselves and then flows to others.
Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood were one of several musicians to perform.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Stephen Ford, President Gerald Ford's son, shared a message written by his father.
Jimmy Carter's legacy of peace and compassion will remain unique as it is timeless.
And Carter's family looked back at his legacy.
My grandfather spent the entire time I've known him helping those in need.
Your time right now is 7:11 on a Friday. Coming up on DC News Now, the Commanders are in the playoffs for the first time in 4 years.
Yes, it's going to be an exciting weekend, and the Commanders are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And many students are back in school after Monday's winter storm, but some parents didn't think the conditions were safe.
But first, we are taking a live look outside. Brittany, what can people expect when they head out? The sun starting to come up.
Yeah, I was to say beautiful shot right now, but don't let that fool you. Still very cold when heading out the door, but at least it's a dry start. But we are tracking that snow, so keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast after the break.